My name is Bhavanarayana Kandala. I have got an experience of 30 years in the construction industry. Later, I joined College of Military Engineering for about 8 years as a professor in management and retired somewhere in 2004 and have been dealing with the teaching of management subjects, basically the finance and operations research and operations for about till quite recently. I have been doing finance management, and I have been acquainted with several subjects of security analysis and portfolio management and derivatives and financial management, costing and management accountancy, etc. Now here at present I have been teaching these HBS guys, Holy Mary Business School, which is quite renowned in Hyderabad. And these people, especially the finance people, they are from a diverse background and they are coming out from various parts of India, and they have been very curious in learning. The HBS especially is very much interested in encouraging the learning aspect of the students, and also they have been involving the faculties as well as the students in various case studies of management and in finance. Finance, basically when somebody thinks of finance, it is not a new subject as such. Right from the beginning, the designing a product or a service, or and then venturing the financing the venture, and then it's okay. Finance is not a new subject as such. Right from the beginning in the industrial world, there are 4 important activities: basically designing a service or a product, and then financing the venture, and then arranging for the materials required in the supply chain, and then manufacturing the product or service, and finally marketing the service or product. These are the 5 important activities which are normally very important in the case of any industry. And the industry as such revolves around the finance. The importance of finance is that it is the lifeblood of any organization. Without financial activities, any industry cannot live. And the finance as such is developing like anything in nowadays with the financial engineering subjects like security analysis and portfolio management, derivatives, then insurance and risk management, then management accountancy. All these subjects are very, very important, and they are taking a new trend because of the development in the technology. Coming to the students of the Holy Mary Business School, I find that all the students are, though they are come from different backgrounds and different financial backgrounds as well as geographical areas, they come from all over India, and they are quite inquisitive in the subject, interested in the subject, and they have got an affinity to learn the things. And I feel that these people are very interesting, and in case they are brought up correctly, and they will become the leaders, as the HBS is quite experienced in nurturing the leaders of India.
Hello, all of you there. My name is Nikhil Popat, representing Popat and Popat Company Secretaries. We are a firm in Secunderabad as company secretaries, engaged in the field of finance consulting, which is our main activity, apart from taking care of corporate law advisory services for companies in and around Hyderabad and Secunderabad. I have been in this field for the last 24 years and have got, I'm enjoying my field. Let me tell you, finance is something which is very, very important for any industry, any business, take it a small business house or a medium scale or a large corporate. Because finance, I feel out of my experience, is that any business house cannot survive without finance. It is like a lifeline of the business. Finance as a subject is very interesting, at the same time very challenging. And when I say challenging, naturally the satisfaction that you get out of completion of a deal or probably a proposal is immense. With every challenge you get new areas to explore, and when you successfully come out of that, you are that much more experienced. Finance is so vast, there are so many areas of specialization in finance. Let me take you through the various areas where you can excel, because it is a very vast subject. You have primarily people coming to you for securing bank finance for their projects, or you have working capital requirements for companies which are already doing business, and then you have people looking at different types of funding. We have various options in finance. One is the traditional bank finance, two is institutional finance, three is international finance. Now, while we talk of local finance, we have primarily three agencies. One is the scheduled banks. You have private sector as well as public sector banks catering to the finance requirements of companies and clients. You have the financial institutions like the State Finance Corporation and various such institutions who cater to the long-term capital requirement of businesses. Say when you come up with a new project, then you have to approach for long-term finance. Apart from now the banks, the institutions also are funding long-term capital projects. Then you have there are so many several different products. You have the fund-based and the non-fund-based limits. Non-fund-based limits such as bank guarantee or letters of credit. Again, in letters of credit, you have the international finance, FLC, and inland letters of credit. Normally, foreign letters of credit is taken for capital imports and as well as for raw material imports. And local LCs are normally used for sourcing raw materials for the working capital requirements of the firm. We then have the other areas of finance which is known as the foreign funding, which is in the form of external commercial borrowings, which is allowed by RBI. The rules have been simplified and it is not very difficult to obtain the ECB funding. Companies, in order to where they have imports or where they need to pay in foreign currency, resort to external commercial borrowing, which is normally in foreign currency. We also have another mode of funding which is known as the private equity. Now, you must have observed the activity in the stock markets. There are so many hedge funds, there are funds from US and Europe who are looking at India as an investment opportunity, because India affords the best returns for these funds which are overseas. Because what we are seeing happening all around us now, that Europe and US going through these difficult times where the returns are very low. So naturally they look at China and India as the next best countries which offer them very good returns from medium to long term range. Private equity normally comes for 3 to 5 years period, where these funds invest in a company which is not yet gone public to meet their intermediate needs of funding in the form of equity. They become your partners, and when they come as investors, they also do a very strict due diligence before they invest, and then the return of ROI which they look at is also very important. So based on the due diligence that they do, they take a decision to invest in the companies. And this is another emerging area as far as Indian companies are concerned. A third activity which I would like to inform here is the mergers and acquisitions. We are now looking at Indian companies acquiring companies abroad. It was earlier, good olden days, when we used to see MNCs coming and investing in India and picking up stake in Indian companies. We have the reverse thing happening now, where Indian companies, you must have heard about Tata and Jindal, all these companies are now acquiring large companies in Europe and in US. And this again has to be funded, because when these companies acquire the size as that of Tata or Reliance, it is not very difficult to raise funds in the international markets. So this is another emerging area. I mean, there are vast opportunities in area of finance, as much as you like to take. In each one of these, there is again a specialization. So you have to decide for yourself if you're going to cater for SME, which is small funding up to 5 to 10 crores, and then you have the mid-corporate group, which is up to 100 crores, and then you have the large corporates, which is above 500 crores. So this is primarily for the funding in domestic area. I have also mentioned to you about foreign funding, and then there are another area which is NBFCs who fund for the home loans, the mortgage loans, the business lending, which is a third area which also has its own place in the market. Because where banks cannot help, these companies play a very active role and they are thriving, albeit the cost being a little higher. So there are so many areas which you can decide on once you enter the field of finance. And let me tell you, finance, money is where finance is. So go for finance and I'm sure you will succeed. All the best to all of you. In case you have any doubts, just feel free to call on me. I'll try to help you out. All the best. HBS Holy Mary Business School. You are in very good hands, let me tell you, because the research that is being done to bring you out as smart professionals the day you start your life outside the college, it cannot be described. You are in best hands. Make the best use of it, make the most of it. Go and ask questions, don't hold it back. Ask for more, ask as much as you want. You will get answers to all of your queries. You will get people from industry coming and talking to you. I mean, you will be made a complete professional just as you are ready to enter the practice, enter the field of business. Choice is yours to decide to go for practice or for a job. Wherever you go as an informed professional well before. Your acceptance levels is very high. You will get recognition well quickly, and you will find yourself very, very satisfied in your place of job. So, say Holy Business School, the right place to learn business. All the best.
Hi, this is Harmanjeet Singh. I work for Radio Mirchi Hyderabad and I have been working here almost for past 2.5 years. Overall, I have an experience of 5+ years. I'm in BTech and I'm MBA postgraduate in marketing. My major was marketing and minor was finance. Then after the completion of my BTech, I started working for embedded system company, Liquid Systems. But somehow I found out like this coding and everything is not my cup of tea, so I moved into marketing. Marketing is really very challenging and interesting to work. And in Radio Mirchi, I take care of the advertising part of it. I create advertisements for the clients. I create the marketing campaigns for the clients. This is a field where the competition is too intense, and if you want to succeed in this field, you always have to keep thinking, keep ideating, always come up with new ideas, because in this market, whatever you do, next day your competitor will follow the same. And what differentiate you from your competitor is your ideas, is your ideation, is your innovation. In today's competitive market, ideation and innovation is the name of the game. So guys, my suggestion to all of you would be keep ideating, keep thinking, and always whenever you're working to something, always keep end in the mind and then work, rather than just thinking going by step. Yes, you have to go step by step, I agree, but at the end of the day, keep end in the mind, see the end result and then start working. You'll always succeed. Thank you. Holy Mary Institution, as everyone knows, is the biggest group, one of the biggest group in AP in Hyderabad. And Holy Mary Business School, I attended couple of the guest lectures. It was a huge success. I feel it was a very good event. For the scenario was like the combination of the corporates and the students, where students can come and mingle up with the corporates, which give them an exposure to the real market, which gives them an exposure what market is all about, a practical scenario of the market. If I wish all the best to Holy Mary Business School, and I wish all the best to all the students.
Hello, I'm Krishna Mohan. I'm working for AP Productivity Council as a Principal Director. I was with industry for around 18 years, and later I shifted to teaching in these schools. And my favorite areas are the business strategy and marketing. And today the B schools need to impart a different set of skills in the students because the market is changing, the customer preferences are changing. Now there is no distinction between the product and the service. So in this scenario, the skills that are to be possessed by the future marketing executives or the marketing managers and the leaders of business are totally different. Today it is not the end if you just sell a product. We need to identify, we need to closely monitor the response of a customer having purchased your product, having experienced your service. There should be a close monitoring of the consumer buying patterns. Today, there is a lot of difference in the family patterns itself. From a combined family, we have the nuclear families, and from nuclear families, we have the single kid families. And it's not a surprise that there could be families without kids also. And there is a possibility that a single member family is going to be the order tomorrow. So there is nothing like an influencer in a family, and each customer is an influencer by himself. So organizations will have to focus on the need of individual customers, each one customer, and try to create the products and services to fulfill the needs of these customers. So to understand this kind of complexity of buying patterns of the customers, the managers, the tomorrow managers or tomorrow's managers need to possess different set of skills. So it's not scoring a good percentile or a good percentage or a good grade point in the B school alone is important, but also the skills that are required to understand the people. The people play the major role. Selling the product is okay, but what about the people who is buying the product? How to understand the person? How to understand the complexities of the most complex supply chains today? How you are connected to the various entities which are finally delivering value to the customer. So it's a complex phenomenon the student has to understand. So unless the students update, I mean to say the students of business schools update themselves with respect to what is happening in the business today and what is happening and what kind of changes are taking place in the business scenario, it is very, very difficult to get ready for tomorrow. So I suggest the B school students to focus more on the applications. Definitely the basics are important, but the applications are more important because it is the skill that a student develops how to apply the basic or the fundamentals they study in the B schools to an ever-changing business environment. So that is the order of the day. Thank you. The Holy Mary Business School, I find this to be altogether a different B school because the kind of activities or the event, for example, the Mehfil itself is a unique event wherein the students are exposed to more than 15 to 16 eminent personalities from different facets of business. And this is a one-day lifelong experience to the students wherein they would understand what is happening in the business in a single go. It's really unique, unique opportunity that this B school has really initiated. And I have seen the kind of, the energy levels of the promoters and the energy levels of the director, the faculty members and the people associated with the school. And I am sure that it is going to deliver the great leaders to this, to Indian business, not only the Indian business but the global business. I wish this B school all the best. Thank you.
Hi, this is Satish. I'm the founder and CEO of Deep Channel Solutions Private Limited. It's an IT company in Hyderabad with the clients all over the world. We have clients in US, UK, Canada, and then we've been in the operation since 2003. So the business model primarily that what we focus is procuring business virtually. We procure business in an asset business. We procure software applications, software projects or animation projects, and then wide variety of IT related projects from different countries. And the business model what we follow is international virtual marketing. Virtual international marketing is primarily procuring business from different countries by marketing virtually. You must be knowing what is procuring business virtually is by not physically kind of interacting with the clients, but being remotely or kind of geographically apart from being separated from the target market, and yet you kind of communicate with clients and then procure business and get projects and implement here. I was trained in international virtual marketing from almost a decade now. And then what I found is there are ample opportunities for anyone who would like to kind of set up any business model, whether you want to sell a service or whether you want to sell a product, whether you want to become an entrepreneur. Everyone has an opportunity today because the world has become a global village. And then the technology has developed so much that students should take active participation in playing that role, and so that you can play your role from your side to bring the economy of India to the heights, and also to build the brand of India, you being as the students of the business schools. So another thing that I would like to share with you here is students should understand that everybody can exercise that interest of being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is just not the one who kind of creates a value or a company, or to create some kind of a profit generating model or a business model, but also it has become a crucial need for India to kind of have small and medium businesses so that we can compete with the economy, because government cannot give jobs to all the people. For example, India is a young nation. India is not even, independence is just over a decade, half a decade. And then, it is estimated that over 400 million people will be less than 35 years age in the next 20 years. And then how government would, will be able to provide, employment for so many students. Give a thought. I mean, unlike, things have changed. That kind of a number is almost like a population of United States of America. And then there is no way. So there is only way that India can become, the leader is only, or India can sustain, or India brand can sustain, or India can compete, India can build its infrastructure, or India can grow only with the help of the youngsters who realizes the fact that there are ample opportunities in the market, and then where you can take the leverage of the technology and see what best way you can sell your product and reach your product to global clientele rather than just a limited market. And then, you might be asking, how I can become an entrepreneur, because I don't have capital, I don't have support, I don't have enough exposure. It's not required actually. As a first generation entrepreneur, my own kind of a case study, if you take, I was working for some company for a very short time, but I know that I wanted to set up my own organization because I want to be independent. And then I want to have my own, kind of job satisfaction, which is generally, would not be practical. I mean, if you really work for someone else, then I had that passion, and then naturally opportunities open up. Because when you have that, passion, when you're passionate about what you want, naturally people, circumstances, situations, everything will fall in place. And all you have to have is that burning desire in you that, yes, I want to become an entrepreneur. But you remember that unless and until you have that risk-taking ability in you, that because business is just not that you have a business plan, you'll be successful. No, it will not be the case. You have to have that risk-taking attitude, and then, no matter what, you should not leave that goal or that, that vision that you have. So keep these things in your mind, and then try to take the leverage or of the technology, and add value to the country and build the brand of India, and then you can feel free to get in touch with any of these experts that you're listening to. Get in touch, and you should try if you really feel that you have to become an entrepreneur, and try to kind of do your best, and then try to do your best. I wish you students all the best, and then I hope that you're going to build the brand of India globally, and help India to have the best infrastructure, and to be on the best of the positions in the economy, and then to beat China and competing countries. All the best. Holy Mary Business School, I found personally, is one of the best business schools in terms of the efforts that they're making, in terms of the vision that overall management has got. And I personally seen, I recently went to one of these marketing, different clubs inauguration in the club, in the college, and then I found, and I personally perceived, or my observation is that from top to bottom, everybody is working with the same vision, same dedication, same commitment. And what I also found is that for future businessmen or women or the professionals, what is more required is the practical approach of life and practical approach of businesses, conducting businesses, practical approach of how to deal with people in HR or in marketing or whatever. This practical approach doesn't come only from the books. That only will come from learning from the leaders, learning from those who have gone and then experienced those milestones and who achieved those milestones. I found that HBS, the Holy Mary Business School, is doing its best to kind of expose the students to the practical side of the practical market, how it exists, how it conducts, from the programs or the innovative programs that they're doing. And then I was blessed to be a part of one such program, and then I know that they are going to add a lot of value to the students, and then anyone whoever is willing to study in a business school, who would like to practically get exposed to the market rather than just being taught on what is being told in the books. HBS is the best school, business schools that that you can count on, and which I personally believe that is true. All the best.